My favorite aspect about being a Paulist is undoubtedly preaching. Practicing preaching is very, very helpful. Learning preaching, I think you listen to good preachers. That is always helpful. And then you got to kind of find your own way to do it. I mean, remember one Paulist who was very, very successful and always preached on movies. And other people preach on different things. I've been told I preach like a lawyer, point to point to point. Different people have different strokes or different kind of methodologies, and you got to find one that fits your personality and your ability to express the good news of the gospel. Often I will have Mass in the morning at 8, then I'll go into the office and go through all the emails that have come in overnight. There's always lots of emails and things to look at. I might get a hospital call or go visit somebody.
Señor y Padre nuestro, que nos has llamado a participar del mismo pan y del mismo vino.
I like the idea of being involved and getting involved with people and helping to make some kind of a difference, hopefully to be able to do some good. I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, oldest of 6 children. Went to Catholic grade school, Our Lady of Sorrows, then to an all-boys Catholic high school, McBride, taught by the Brothers of Mary. And then I went to Washington University in St. Louis, Missouri. And while there, I took some history courses, one in American intellectual history, and kept coming across Isaac Hecker and several books that I read. And that worked out very well for me, because Isaac Hecker was an attractive person for me, especially at that time, trying to figure out the role of the American Catholic Church. And after I graduated from Washington University, I entered the Paulist novitiate. I went off to do my deacon year at St. Nicholas Church in North Pole, Alaska. I was a deacon and then 3 years as a priest. It was very exciting, very eye-opening and revelatory for me, and gave me confidence that I could do this. And then after that, I was assigned to Old St. Mary's in Chicago, Illinois, on the south end of the Loop. Had 4 very good years there on the parish team. It was a wonderful urban ministry, and I enjoyed it very much, even though when the wind came off of Lake Michigan in January, I was colder in Chicago than I ever was in Alaska. I then became pastor for the first time at St. Andrew's Church in Clemson, South Carolina. I was there for 7.5 years, had the great privilege of following Father Bill Brimley as pastor, and it was a wonderful experience because he had left everything in great shape and well done and organized. I then left there and became pastor of the Mother Church, St. Paul the Apostle in New York City. I was there for 8 years, and through that, I was there on 9/11 of September 2001. We were quite a few miles away from it, but we still saw people running up, covered with soot and ashes, and traumatized, and tried to help people as much as we can. I then became pastor of Old St. Mary's Cathedral in San Francisco. After 8 years there, I came here to Austin, and still here. When I was a seminarian, before I was assigned up to Alaska as a deacon, I spent a summer in Nome, Alaska, working on the radio station KNOM, which is a station that the bishop had and was broadcasting to a lot of small Eskimo villages in western Alaska and also across the Bering Strait into Siberia. And I was very excited about going up to work on the radio. But when I first got up there, my first assignment was to assist the Little Sisters of Jesus, who had a home there that had been destroyed in a winter storm. And that was in November, and then everything froze solid, and it wasn't until May when I got up there that they were able to do any salvage work. So I was assigned to go with the Little Sisters of Jesus and help them see if we could salvage anything from their old home. And we found some broken pieces of ivory crucifix, and some pots and pans, a few books they could still use, and things like that. And I was in a very bad mood, because I had not gone up to Alaska to step through the muck and try and find things. I had gone up to work on the radio. This is not what I wanted, and it was uncomfortable, and it was wet, and it was cold, and I was miserable and very grumpy. But the Little Sisters of Jesus were so confident of God's care for them that they were almost like on a picnic. Their attitude was very different than mine. And finally, it struck me that this was their house that we were picking through to find the ruins of, and yet they were in much better mental space and spiritual space than I was. So they really taught me something about confidence in God's care without speaking a word.